Hey folks, this is Sue Bell from Market Domination Solutions, and we're here today for our first in a long time members webinar. We're going to talk about one-page websites. I'm excited. This topic has got me fired up. So, not so long ago or far away, I started offering one-page websites to my smaller business clients. And I think, first of all, after doing a bit of research, before we dig too far into this topic, we need to define our terms. Because as I went looking around the internet at what other people were doing with one-page websites, I came across all of these preconceived ideas that did not have anything to do with what it was I was trying to do. So it's completely possible to create for small businesses to create a one-page website on third-party platforms, things like About.me or Wix website or a Squarespace website, and that's not really my definition of a website. For me, I mean, you can have a website on Weebly.com and some places, even Wix websites can look not completely horrible. But for me, if you're going to have a domain, like if you're going to stake out a space on the internet and call it your own, spend $10, buy a domain, host it someplace, and have it be yours. Because if you host it on a third-party platform, you never know what's going to happen. Hi guys. Um, and so this is me. This is my soapbox, little spiel for today. There should be a chunk of the internet. If you're going to be in business and have an online presence, there should be a chunk of that internet that you carve out and that you own, and that some third-party platform can't get a wild hair and remove your account. All right. So with that in mind, the rest of what I'm going to talk about is um, an inexpensive domain on inexpensive hosting, because you're thinking a one-page website. I personally look at small businesses, like really small businesses, as being the ideal candidate for a one-page website. A lot of that has to do with SEO limitations and that sort of thing. In fact, let me just go to the next slide for a second. One of the reasons that you would want to do a one-page website is because it's inexpensive for the client. It's easy for the visitors to find and get the information that they need. It's great if all you need is like a calling card site. You need a domain to stick on a business card or to reference off of your Google My Business page. You can use it to tell a story either about you or about your business. And this is where we get to the SEO. It's best if the business is doing a single thing. For example, my favorite little coffee shop in Mesa, Arizona, they do coffee and yoga and weddings. Not a good candidate for a one-page website. My hair salon in Cedar Park, they do haircuts. They do curly hair haircuts. That's what they specialize in, but they also do weddings and makeup. Not a good candidate for a one-page website. If all they did was hair, it would be fine. But because they do the other stuff too, and because a lot of money is in weddings, you're just not going to rank for weddings even on a local scene on a one-page website. And you certainly want to give the bride-to-be plenty of pictures so that she knows that, she's going to have the wedding of her dreams and yada yada. Not a good candidate for a one-page website. However, if your small business relies mostly on the map pack to drive traffic, then that's a perfect thing for one-page website. If it's just a single concept, again, no e-commerce website attached, nothing fancy, but just a real simple, maybe like a plumber website or something along those lines. What I was offering to is the community that I just moved into a couple months ago. They have a whole lot of places that don't have a web presence at all. So they're not in Google My Business. They don't have a website. I swear they're in the 1990s here. I'm on DSL. Like, it's literally 1990s here. So a lot of businesses in this area are prime candidates for a one-page website. All right. So with that in mind, Let's look quickly at the pros of a one-page website. It's simple. Everything the visitor needs to find is on one page. They don't have to dig through a bunch of stuff. I'm not thinking that this is going to be a never-ending scrolling sales page kind of a one-page website. This is, relatively short and to the point, and a user can scroll through it even on a phone in fairly short order and find the information that they need. It's going to lead to higher conversion rates because the visitor's going to find what they are looking for quickly, or they're going to sort themselves out quickly because it's all right there. It's in black and white. This plumber either does emergency plumbing or they don't, right? So, boom, Bob's your uncle. They're either calling the phone number or they're not. And then it's easy to maintain, right? It's a one-page website. How much easier does that get? So it's cheap for the client, inexpensive, I should say, for the client, and easy to maintain and easy for the visitors. Okay, cons of a one-page website. I have seen a lot of places state that scalability is an issue, but they're thinking, I'm pretty sure, from the idea that you're scaling from like about.me, and so you got to completely redo whatever it is you do in about.me onto a platform where you can do multiple pages. I'm going to run you through really quickly later on today how you can use Beaver Builder, which is what we use in if you're in the Ninja Training course. We go all into Beaver Builder. So I'm going to show you really fast how you can make a one-page website and optimize it for search engines so that you can rank for a couple of keywords, for a handful of keywords, right? You're not going to rank for a whole bunch. You'll rank for some long tails. You can rank for a handful of keywords. But if you've got more than one silo going on, again, back to the concept of like yoga and coffee, that's two different, completely different things. You try to slam two completely different things on one page, you're not really going to rank for anything. Google's going to look at it and just go, I don't know what you're talking about, and walk away shaking its head. All right, meaningful analysis. So the downside on one-page websites is you got to be creative. Otherwise, you're going to get a really high bounce rate. So again, I'm going to show you how you can put a menu on the top of a one-page website, because if there's any kind of interaction, then Google doesn't look at it as a bounce. And high bounce rates lead to lower rankings, and that's not helpful either. So we're going to show you how to get rid of the bounce rate. The other thing that you can do besides the menu clicks at the top is perhaps some kind of an exit pop. I looked at a couple of different options with exit pops, and if you had you've just got to be careful with it because they're a small business anyway, so you don't want to be abusive with an exit pop. But if they've got some kind of a special or some kind of customer loyalty program that you can offer on an exit pop, then that could be worthwhile. The other thing you can do is set up the phone number at the top so it's going to be click to call. And I would also put in a tracking phone number. I use tracking phone numbers all the time. It doesn't matter what I'm doing with my marketing. I have tracking phone numbers so that I can hold it up to my client. I mean, I can hand it to my client at the end of the month and say, look, this is the kind of traffic that I'm bringing you. And if you're going to put, like if you're going to do the one-page website, you're going to do Google My Business, and then maybe you're also going to have some kind of a Facebook presence, because if we go back to my hairdresser, they do more traffic on their Facebook page than they do actually on their web page. So consider using something like CallRail. That they start at like $30 a month if you're going to do cross platforms, because then you can track your clients across all different kinds of platforms and what they're doing and where calls are coming from. Jamie says a lot of little guys are targeting. A lot of the little guys you're targeting really initially think about ranking one. Their brand, because everybody already knows them, right? Yeah, absolutely. And the main keyword, localized long tail keyword. 2 is a bonus. Exactly. That's exactly right. And obviously ranking for their brand is going to be pretty easy. And ranking for 1 or 2 keywords is doable, so long as it's not highly competitive. The other thing I do on a one-page website is I install some kind of heat maps. Lucky Orange is my favorite. And even if it's just for a month after we start getting some traffic, so that I can see how people are navigating that page. I want to make sure that they're finding what they're looking for. Because you can't tell if you've got a high bounce rate on a page like that, I want to see if, they're hitting the page and just leaving, if they're scrolling, if they're watching a video, what are they doing? So heat maps are the best way to figure out what's going on a one page. Okay, so let's talk about the SEO stuff for a minute. You want to do an entity registration. You want to register the business, right? Get a Google My Business going. You want to have that single silo. You want to have a fair amount of content on that homepage, and that's going to be part of how you're ranking. I think I have, hang on a second, let me just look here. Yeah. So let me drop. I'm going to get into URL fragment menu, a demo here in just a nanosecond, and then you want to do business markup. And I checked out today that plugin, which works really extremely well. It's a JSON-LD plugin. And now I set this demo up way early this morning. It's been an extremely long day. So let me just see. Let me bring this page over and I'll just show you. I'll kind of walk you through what I did all over again. So this page, let me come back up to a regular URL. This page I created in Beaver Builder in like 5 nanoseconds, literally. I concatenated 3 different templates together, and then I put together a menu. And the menu has Contact Us, and it's just got an ID down at the bottom with Contact Us. I don't want to bore you guys, so give me a 1 if you want me to walk you through how to actually put this together and do the menu, and give me a 2 if you know how to do that kind of thing, and showing you would be redundant. Oh, good. I've got all 2s and a 3 and a 7. All right, great. Then what I will do is I will put that demo. I will do the demo later, but I'll just stick it right smack in the members area so that you guys can see it. But I won't take up time with doing it today. Excellent. So the one thing that I will show you though, that plugin that I recommended, I believe I put the information on the About Us page. Let me just go, let me show you what it did on schema testing tool. I'll just show you really fast the kind of stuff that it does in terms of markup. So I got a contact page, all kinds of information marked up in the contact section of the page, and all kinds of information marked up in the About page. And all of that was automatic. I just put the plugin in, I turned it on, I pointed it to a couple of pages, and Bob's your uncle. What's the best way to set up a call per lead website to ensure that we're getting credit for the leads? So I would use something like, you can get a phone number for like $1 a month, maybe $2 a month. And I think you can, if you're subscribed to CallRails, I think you can get the phone numbers through them. So like for $30 a month, you can get all kinds of tracking, and they will tell you what the duration of the call is and everything. They can even integrate into analytics. So the client can see in their analytics the same kind of information that you're reporting back to them from CallRails. And that's the best way. And I would give them like between a 10 and a 20%, at least a 10%. Yeah, exactly, Jamie. You can record the call if you're worried about it. Yeah, but I would give them a 10% grace or discount because you get bogus calls and calls that, wrong numbers and stuff like that. So the name of the markup plugin is Schema. Let me just bring it up really fast. Grab it out of here. This is wordpress.org/plugin/schema. Very nice little plugin. It's got a lot of options. It's got a paid version too, but I didn't need the paid version. The free version worked great. All right. Trivia. For those of you who are not familiar with Douglas Adams, this is a very important piece of information. The answer to life, the universe, and everything is 42. I don't want you guys to ever say that we don't give out the very best information on these webinars. Okay, 42. We'll be back. Designs and trends. So, some of the most interesting things I have seen on one-page websites are some of the, and I use this term loosely, fascinating things that they're doing with menus. So the menu that I showed you that has the link that goes down the page is basically the same kind of link as what you find on Wikipedia. And Wikipedia puts their links in a little content block, but you can have it as a menu bar. I've seen some things that have it on a sidebar. I think I go into some of those. Fixed navigation, smart fixed navigation is very cool, where no matter where you are on the page, you can hit the little graphic, the little hamburger menu, and select anything off the menu. Those are very nice, particularly if you're getting into longer pages. And that's nice whether you're on a traditional website or a one-page website, but with the idea that one-page websites can get a little bit on the long side. Pop out on the side menus. The thing that I would say, if you're going to have a menu, no matter where you're going to put it, it should have enough information so that the visitor understands what the links are about. In other words, you get to menus that look like this, where they've got these little dots on the side. They don't tell me anything. I have no idea where I am. I have no idea where I'm going. I can click around the little dots, but like, where does it take me to? Now, that said, I can't actually. Can I click on something here? Well, maybe I can. Oh, hot diggity gumdrop. They have updated it. So this is actually, despite the fact that they've got a weird menu, this is actually a pretty cool website. This is, I'm going to show you several one-pager websites today, just so that you can see some different ideas. There's nothing particularly wow bang with it. Like that's stuff that you can get in pretty much any of the modern designs today. But I thought they put it together well. For a one-page website, I thought that looked reasonably decent. All right. Again, I don't like those menus. Soapbox off. I won't say anything else about it. All right. So these are some fun websites. And I don't have links to those actually in the slide, so I got to go find it. Hang on. Now that Google is doing away with Google Plus About Me page, where do you go when you're setting up the Google My Business part that had the contribute to and the link for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram? I think, Natasha, that all of that is still in the Google My Business section. They're not sunsetting Google Plus until like April, so I'll dig in the meantime. But I really thought the last time that I hooked up a business that all of those things, I could be wrong. I thought it was all on the Google My Business page. That's not what I want to have happen. Hang on a second. Let me bring it over here. Let me rewind this because the beginning is part of some of the best part. All right. This is a very fun little website. The graphics are fun. The interface is fun. I hope it comes across reasonably decent. It doesn't lag too much. Occasionally I work, every so often, now and then. Oh, I think I went by the writing part. But you get the idea. He writes, he speaks, and at times he has fun. Very creative little one-page website. Let me grab the other one. This is a barbershop site. This took a while when I wasn't on screen share. Now it's just horrifically slow. My apologies, but it's worth the wait. It's very cute. Here we go. That's a Ukrainian website. The thing I like about it, the thing I love about it actually, is the texture. It has a feel, right? It's got a very pronounced feel to it. And it's not just the Cyrillic. Right, we'll talk about some of these trends because in ways it's a little bit traditional. It's a little bit of a throwback kind of website. I don't think all of the special effects are coming across quite as well as they did. Darn. Anyway, cool website. Next slide. Good. I'm glad it looks good. Other cool concepts. All right. Let's come here. This one is, so those last couple I think are quite doable. You get links to all of these, but I should maybe drop links while I'm waiting for these things to paint. This is the one we're looking at now. Oh, there we go. So, I'm scrolling, you can't really tell that I'm scrolling, except for the fact that things are moving on the page. But they're moving on the page because I'm scrolling, and it's now I'm scrolling back up, and it's just I think the look and feel of the website is really elegant, really quite spectacular. For a mirror, I mean, hello. Let's look at the next one. So, I think that's probably going to take some programming to do with that one. This one, obviously this isn't a one-page website. If you click on any of those things, it's going to take you to another page. However, he does have quite a reasonably long front page, and I thought he had some reasonable special effects without being too over the top. All right, those are the cool websites. Yeah, absolutely, Natasha. When I find out, we'll have another webinar and talk about it. All right, the next one. Trends that are going to influence web design in 2019. So these are my favorites. These are the things that I'm actually seeing up and coming. And I'm seeing a lot of either broken grid or fluid design, overlapping layouts. I think it adds a lot of texture. I think it makes for a better look and feel. Some of it's done with CSS. Some of it's done just with Photoshop. Let's take a look at a couple of them. Hang on. So the earlier examples, I don't think you'll need to code for. There are a couple of examples, I think, here on the next few pages that will require more coding. Oh, I didn't actually grab the links for those websites. You can just kind of see what I'm talking about from those images. Nostalgic, retro, throwback. This is also a trend that I'm seeing more and more of recently. There's a really great website I'm going to drop to everybody. This is an example of a whole bunch of retro websites that were spectacular, actually. So if you've got a client who wants something retro, you can use this as a place to get some design concepts. I think they've just done a really great job. Nice, clean, easy to read, and definitely they all have a feel to them. Cool stuff. Long page. I'll let you guys look at your leisure. Image fun. Oh, this one. This is wicked. Kubo. These guys are an agency. The early ones would work with Beaver Builder, Patrick, but sites like this one, this is not WordPress. I would put money on it. This is some of these later ones are definitely coded. I think that if you're looking for the retro ones will all work with Beaver Builder. I didn't quite see when your question came through, but if that's what you were asking, yes. Let me make this a little bit bigger because it's better when you can see more of it. So you can see they're doing all kinds of stuff where they're overlapping different elements in different places to break up the whole concept of being static. And this is priceless. It's not wanting to work. Oh, shoot. I just got too much stuff going on with my computer. Dang it. This was, oh, here we go. Arrows are down here. There we go. So I think that what they're doing with enhancing some of the images, not every single image has something going on, but every screenful or two has some sort of animation to it. I think it's very cool, very engaging, very eye-catching. Not something that you would click away from quickly. Ah, this one. So, pushing the boundaries of typography. Let me show you this one. This one is just fun. It takes a second to load too, sadly. There you go. So as I move my cursor around, I disrupt. And I've seen disruptive ones before. I just haven't seen text disrupt before. So that was kind of cool. And I've seen some really weird stuff with text. And the one thing that I would say about weird is just make sure that it's legible. Make sure that people can still navigate and read your site when you're done. Because some of the stuff I saw was just completely over the top. It just was crazy, crazy. All right, so I think we're through this awfully quickly. It's because I didn't do the demo. So why Beaver Builder versus Thrive Themes and Thrive Architect? I would say it's because I got into Beaver Builder and I really learned it, and so it's easy for me. I found add-ons and I put it on top of Genesis, which makes for not just Genesis but dynamic as well as a child theme, and that gives me the ability to pretty much do anything anywhere. Let me show you really fast. Let me close this because it's quite intense. So here in the design, I can put in any kind of anything. I can put in CSS. I can put in JavaScript. I can put it in site-wide. I can put it just on the page. It's all really easy. It's got hooks for just about anything you could possibly imagine. It takes a little bit of time to master. It's probably, oh, I don't know. I took the long hard way. I didn't watch too many videos. I hacked at it myself, so it probably took me longer than it would somebody who was willing to sit through a couple of videos. But once I got in and I understood how powerful it was and how many other plugins I don't need because it's got all of the hooks to be able to add everything, I was sold. And there have been other people who have said, I tried Thrive and I walked away from Thrive. It didn't have, even if I put, there was another one that started with an A. Shoot. I'm not going to remember it right this minute. I haven't had enough coffee today. But I found the other ones either slightly, there would be places where they would break, or there would be places where I ended up having to add too many layers of other things in order to make it fast to do what it was that I wanted to do. So that's the only reason I didn't run down the Thrive. I also feel like Thrive is quite a bit heavier than Beaver Builder. I don't use the Beaver Builder theme. Obviously, I use Genesis theme and Beaver Builder as the plugin. And with Thrive, I was using the theme. So, yeah, that was my thinking. It was noticeably slower. I'm trying to remember what the heck the other one is. I have a good friend who's trying to convert me to another builder, and it's more user friendly, but it's not as powerful. It doesn't. I can still stick it on Genesis, and it's not on Genesis on his blog. So when I try to update his blog, I find myself cussing and moaning about it. Maybe if I name is on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, maybe if I put the other builder on top of Genesis, I'd like it too. But I find it just because I'm comfortable with Beaver Builder, I find the other one difficult to find the things that I want to adjust. And for me, it's all about speed. If I can't put together a website fast, then I'm annoyed. Elementor, that's exactly what it is. Thank you. So, yeah, Thrive, Elementor, Beaver Builder. It's whatever poison you like. I do find Thrive to be slower. Elementor is pretty fast. I'm not used to the user interface, so it annoys me. I'm not sure. Oh. So Jamie mentioned earlier, I'm going back through and I'm finding a couple of comments that I missed. I said something about the challenge of Bounce rate. What about load time if you get too big? Absolutely. You want to make sure that however it is that you're loading your stuff, like look at lazy loaders and stuff like that, make sure that your load time remains fast. Make sure your images are light. Maybe make small thumbs with some kind of a light box pop up that doesn't load until you click on it. Something along those lines. Joe, they're slower to build. Slower for me to build. Just as compressor.io. Oh, for the images. Yeah, I use actually a plugin to compress them. But yeah, anything that will make your images lighter is a good thing. All right. Okay. So, any questions? Comments? Concerns? What plugin to compress images? I use. Hang on. I use this one. I will drop it to everybody. Yes, so the recordings are going to be posted inside the members area. If you're not part of the Ninja Training area, just a 2-second plug for the Ninja Training area. All the webinars that we're going to have, webinars are open to everybody. If you want the replays, they're going to be, some of them will be public, but a good chunk of them are going to be inside the members area. The Ninja Training area, we've got monthly updated content. We like take a module and put it in there every month. Cracked and condensed courses, no fluff instructions. Like this is like complete no fluff instructions. We've got handouts, infographics, checklists. We've got content calendars that are specific to the different kinds of content. And starting this month, we're going to have a monthly complimentary vacation certificate drawing. If you guys are interested in being part of the members area, let me drop the link location to you all. Did that work? Hang on a second. That looked funky to me. Why did that? Oh, that came out as a Google link. How weird. Hang on. Let me give you a shorter one because I'm not sure that that's actually going to work. Try that one. All right. Okay, good. Thank you. So, all right. That was a drum roll, just in case you didn't notice. Now, we're going to have a giveaway. So what I wanted to do was give away today to one lucky person who's in attendance a lifetime subscription to the Ninja Training. So if you remember what the answer to life, the universe, and everything is, oh my goodness gracious. All right. Ken was the first person, Ken Maddock was the first person to come back with the right answer. Ken, if you want to drop me your email, I will get you hooked up. And if you don't understand why 42 is the answer to life, the universe, and everything, it's because you don't really understand the question. Excellent. All right. I will get you hooked up. Congratulations, Ken. And and let me just drop this over here so that I don't lose it when we end the webinar. And we will be back next week. Same bat time, same bat place for more exciting. What are we doing next week? I had that figured out. Shoot. Anybody on my team remember what it is that we decided we're going to do next week? Omelets was not it, Patrick. No, sorry. Oh, was it micro marketing? It was micro something. It wasn't micro trends. Micro moments. Google's micro moments. We're gonna get into micro moments. That should be fun. And the week after that, just so you know, I want to do mass page builders. I wanted to do it this week, but I'm not quite ready for it yet. I've got new mass page builders that I'm in the process of testing, and oh, all right. So Jamie says talk about contact form and how to manage signups and emails for one pagers. Why would that be different from a regular site, Jamie? Um, I would just do it exactly the same way. So, like, most of the contact forms actually send an email as opposed to um, putting something into CRM, right? Um, so you can use, what is it, Form 7, I think it is the really popular one. Let me just take a really quick look so that I don't just like, yeah, contact Form 7. I think this is a freemium plugin. I don't think you have to pay for it. Um, Contact Form 7. It's pretty easy. It's extremely easy to use, actually. There we go. And it's got the option for CAPTCHA on it. And you can do the reCAPTCHA, get the Google code to do the reCAPTCHA. And then you can send the email wherever you want to. And if you want to, um, so you can send the email right smack to the client, which is normally what I do with small businesses, because you want to get the lead into their hot little hands as quickly as possible. But you can also send it to something like a Weber. Now, Jamie said something about automation. And if you want to get into automation, that's typically like a huge step for businesses that are looking for a one-page website, right? Automation, for those of you who aren't familiar with email automation, I had somebody ask, what is that? It's when somebody signs up and then when somebody clicks a link, they get put into one list and maybe moved into another list so that you can actually manage your contacts. Or you have them in some kind of a contact management system where you've got them as a lead and you're moving them along through the funnel process depending on what it is that they're looking for and what they say and whether or not they open emails and whether or not they respond to phone calls and all that kind of good stuff. So you can get quite if you're dealing with a lot of contacts, it's worth it because they need a way to be able to manage their contacts. But typically speaking, that kind of automation is more expensive than a small business that's looking for a one-page website can actually afford. At least in my book. Just a second, let me get some water. Oh, lots of questions. So, Tang, I need your email address in order to add you to the Facebook page, and then you'll get an email that gives you a link and you can join. If a one-page site is an entry point for lots of other stuff down the road, it's key to build their list. That is true. Email marketing, custom audiences, that kind of thing. That is true. That's sort of not what I was talking about today, but yes. And I would treat that exactly the same way. It depends. I would start with the end in mind, like what kind of automation do you need? What CRM are you going to use? And then work backwards from there to figure out what kind of form software integrates with that. Something like List Activator. There's lots of good ones out there. There's even more mediocre and terrible ones, but there's several good ones out there. Got to be cheap or free and easy. So the form itself can be cheap or free, but the CRM on the backside probably isn't. It can be inexpensive, but it's not going to be free. The more you want to be able to do with the automation, probably the more expensive it's going to be. Okay, let me grab that tag. Patrick offers MailerLite is free for 1,000 emails. I've never tried them. Right, I figured. Tag. Oh, that's the sign-up email. Your Facebook email. That doesn't look like an email on that next line. Maybe. Yeah, that doesn't look like an email. Ah, okay. Got it. So, Joe asked, is a ninja course you want to use it for getting a site ranked nationally for lead gen? The principles are the same. Ranking locally or ranking nationally. Ranking nationally has become more difficult. It depends on what the product is that you're after. I mean, you got to make sure that whatever the product is that you're trying to sell, whatever the affiliate product is, that those are keywords that don't give back local results. But assuming that they're not, assuming that you've looked into that already, there are a lot of moving pieces. I'm trying to think of when I put that course together. That was in October. That was right about the time the Medic update came out. I'll go back and add another module into there for national rankings because, okay, I won't mention the niche. I don't know if that's local or national, but it's an interesting niche though. I will go back and update the SEO for national rankings post Medic because it has shifted dramatically. Medic rolled out September, the end of September, but I would have to say that it took almost 6 weeks to roll completely out. Yeah, exactly, September. And we just had another something hit within the last couple of weeks. I watched a whole bunch of the sites. I monitor probably 100 sites. I've only got, I don't know, maybe 20 sites that I'm actively working on at the moment, but I monitor a whole bunch. And I noticed a bunch of them drop like crazy, like almost across the board drop. Usually you see some drop, some rise. But this wasn't just fluctuation. Pretty much all of the sites I was monitoring dropped a couple weeks back. So I kind of need to dig into that and see what's going on there. So I will definitely go into the course. Just make a note here. For national rankings. In a nutshell, what I've seen is there needs to be a lot more interaction with your website. It's not just about links and content so much anymore. That only gets you so far. Nice. All right, we'll see you on the inside, Joe. Awesome. Excellent. Anything else? I think I'm looking back through the last couple of pages of comments. I think we got everybody. Give me a quick ping. Give me a 1 if I missed something you said, and I'll look back for your name. Did you try to say hash browns, Patrick? You mean omelets and hash browns? You're going to make me hungry. Awesome. Okay, nobody said anything, so I think we've answered everybody's questions for today. One-page websites, that's a wrap. We got our winner. Congratulations. And we'll see you, same bat time, same bat place, a week from today. Thanks, everybody. Ciao.